I thought if I pushed harder, I would lose the belly fat. I was burning muscle and I was gaining fat. I was literally running myself into the ground. Everything changed when I reorganized my workouts with the right timing of food and cardio and strength. Sometimes I dabbled in fasted cardio. Sometimes I would make sure that I lifted and gave myself a 6-hour window before I did my lower body. Sometimes I would do my cardio before I lifted. It was all very calculated and planned and based on the science of how the body works. And the results blew my mind. What I stopped doing was pushing harder and working really, really hard to get results that weren't coming. One of the things that I did that was really interesting is even though I feel really good sometimes, I want to keep going, I stop and I walk, or I make sure that on my restorative days, no matter what happens and how great I feel, I don't run or lift. When I was struggling with sleep, I used early morning sunlight to reset my circadian rhythm. That worked really well. I don't have the lights to manage my sunlight exposure. I actually go outside. A lot of times I pulled back on workouts. When I wanted to do more, I actually pulled back and let my body recover. One of the hardest things for me was respecting rest time. When you work really hard, you have to give your body time to recover. And I definitely have learned that at 52, which is not something that I used to do in my 30s and 40s. I schedule every cardio workout with a time goal in mind. So for example, my HIIT workouts couldn't be more than 25 minutes and I couldn't do multiple cardio sessions in a day, which I used to love to do. I really kept my moderate fat burning workouts to 30 to 40 minutes. And then after an hour, that came much later on when I knew that my metabolism was on fire and I would actually start burning fat instead of storing fat because I've been a marathon runner for a lot of years. So here's a new formula for me that has been working really well. On strength days, I make sure that I target my workouts to work around my strength is the priority. I need to build muscle. And cardio is just there to support that. Cardio is my stress management tool. We all need to be active and move, and you could probably get the same results if you walked or you did something else. For me, running brings me joy, so I make sure that's part of my routine. I don't do my long runs on my strength days anymore. They're really, really separated. And I don't necessarily have a plan of like, I'm gonna run 10 miles no matter what. I have a plan of I'm going to move, I'm going to see how my body responds and make adjustments. Rest days are sacred now. I don't run no matter how much I want to, no matter how great I'm feeling. I remember that the reason why I'm feeling great is because I'm following this plan and it's working. So I fight that instinct of like, oh, it feels really good. I do look at the weather during the week, and if I know that the weather is going to be bad on a day, I try to schedule my rest day around that so I don't miss a beautiful day. But there's value in walking, and I really enjoy it. And then there's value in movement without pain. So I do a lot of restorative activities, active movement, but gentle and kind. So how do I know this is working? Well, at 49, I had followed a very similar routine, which is like basically very similar to a dog chasing a ball, which was like if I would run for as long as I wanted to, take a break every once in a while, see how far I could go. And the result was this belly that was undeniable to the point where nothing fit me. I remember being on the beach going, what am I doing wrong? I am working out constantly. I'm lifting constantly. I'm following all the rules. I'm eating tons of protein. I'm drinking my water. And I basically called it the WTF belly because it came out of nowhere and I was doing so many things right. But it existed and no clothes fit. On my really nice days out, what I would wear would be these overalls. That was like my professional outfit, is that's the only thing that fit me. There was a time that I was feeling like my body was betraying me, and now when I look at my body and all of a sudden I'll see belly fat, and I don't consider it a betrayal anymore. I just consider it information on how do I make adjustments. And when things are off, like my sleep, I feel inflamed, my clothes get a little bit tighter, and a good night's sleep and whatever I need to do to get those great night's sleeps and those awesome workouts and the calmer version of me is the thing that also happens to keep my belly flatter. So it makes sense to listen to it instead of being angry, because it does not represent the effort I put into my body. I start working with new clients, I see it all the time. They are working really hard. They're not hungry. They're barely eating. And in fact, their body doesn't even have enough energy to get a good night's sleep. And when we make these small adjustments, you see their whole lives transform into better sleep. And then the scale responds, not because they are restricting what they're eating, but they're treating themselves so well that that stress belly that sort of grew over time starts to disappear. And then we notice chronic pain starts to disappear, and sleep is improving and energy is improving. And then that becomes addictive, and that rolls over into all of a sudden you're fitting into the smallest jeans in your closet by accident. I've learned that you can't heal through punishment, but you've got to focus on patience, strategy, and support, because that formula works. I'm not here to tell you to work less. I'm here to show you how to work right. In my next video, I'll break down how I used food timing without cutting any carbs to accelerate fat loss. If you are frustrated or feeling stuck, leave a comment below. What's your biggest obstacle? Is it cardio? Is it lifting? Is it commitment? Is it accountability? This channel is for all of us to figure out, how do we navigate this next chapter of our lives? And maybe it could be our best chapter yet.